That's the house with the Nikes.
No spoilers.
But it's the same house, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Along with a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. There's other ones that would be more spoilery that I can think of.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No, my mouth is really dry. Can you hand me my water? My water. Okay. Okay.
Everybody.
Oh shit! I just accidentally hit the fan with my elbow. Hold on.
That's alright, fan's good.
No, fan's noisy. Okay. Go. Tell us your story.
Okay, so I was delivering Dish Network while we lived in Tennessee. You guys were in a campground. I went out, fucking 12, 14 hours a day installing dishes for like 6 days a week just to let us survive. And that part of the country is weird. Like, there's
Some weird people in the mountains of Tennessee.
This is not the only weird story I have out of that very short period of time. Okay, so I could probably go on for an hour and a half, like story after story after story.
So this is a place I need to go if I want to have a stand-up comedy career.
Oh, excellent material. Oh my God. Back in the hills in Tennessee, all the material you'd ever need. Swear to God. Like,
now I'm starting to remember
like,
all of them.
One after the other. Like, they're just
I'm doing the same
in
thing.
My head of the fucking weirdness. Okay.
I am doing
the
the same thing. Yes.
And the goats. And the
tire. Yes, the tire is always the first one I think of.
Like,
I've heard that.
There's a bunch of them, but this is, bar none, the weirdest day I've ever had in my life. Okay. So, as a Dish Network installer, I was assigned like 3 installs a day. Okay, so you go here at 9, you go there at noon, you go there at 3, you're done at 7. And it never worked out that way. It was more like you go there at 9, you're done at 2, you're done at 11, and then you got to drive half an hour home. It was a shitty fucking job. But I went to my very first appointment of the day at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And it was somewhere right outside Dayton, Tennessee. I don't even remember where, but back in the hills. And I called, because you call when you're on your way. You say, hey, this is Patrick from Dish Network. I'm going to be there in 30 minutes. Please. And on the other end of the phone, I hear, no habla español. Or no habla inglés. Not español, obviously. He understands español. But he goes, no habla inglés. And I looked at my work order, and it's like, Mike Smith is the name of the customer. Like, Mike Smith? Like, am I actually, did I dial the wrong number? Is this, like, what the fuck's going on with my work order? I need to start my goddamn day, right? Like, and now I got this bullshit to deal with. And he goes, oh, Mike Smith, uno momento. And hangs up on me. Like, hung the fuck up. And I'm in my truck going, and my phone rings. I said, hello? I mean, this is before caller ID blocking.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the very beginnings of cell phones, right? So there's no privacy protections built into them, nothing at all. And so I answer my phone, and he goes, hi, this is Mike Smith. And I went, like, whoa, that's really fucking weird. And so he goes, yes, you're the right guy. You're in the right place. You're just like a block away, because I was calling for directions, you know. And he goes, but I'm at work. I'll be there in like 20 minutes. Okay. All right, fine, whatever. I mean, it takes me that long to get all my tools out and shit anyway, so you're not going to hold me up, you know. So I get to the place and knock on the door and say, hi, I'm Patrick from Dish Network. And they go, see, like it's Hispanic on the other side of the door, you know. And get all my tools out, and suddenly I turn around, and here is a white guy who is wearing like a wife beater, like stained wife beater, you know, like this white t-shirt thing, and it, like he's been wearing this for days, and then he washed it, sort of, and then he wore it for many more days, and then he sort of washed it, and then he put it back on, and it was gross, but he spoke English. He's a white guy. He's like, "Hey, I'm Mike Smith. You here to install my television?" Well, yeah, I am. And a conversation ensued that was part English, part Spanish, part something else that was just wrong in every sort of way that you could possibly imagine. Because this guy did not speak Spanish, and there are 12 Hispanics in front of me, in front of this great big house, all speaking Spanish to him, expecting him to understand it, and he doesn't, and he's trying to translate between me and the Hispanics that actually ordered the fucking television. Mike has nothing to do with this television at all. This is a contract between Dish Network and one of these Hispanic dudes that doesn't speak English. And finally, I finally understood what was going on. And I said, okay, so all I need, I'm like, okay, I'm watching my clock, right? You kids are all sitting in the campground. It's now like 10:30 in the fucking morning. I'm supposed to be an hour away from my next fucking appointment to install another whole house, and I'm still here trying to manage this bullshit. Yeah. And I finally got it through to him. Look, dude, I just need to get to work and get this done. You know, like, what I need to know is, where do you want me to put this dish? And I'm physically holding the dish. I'm like,
where do you want it to go?
Where do you want me to put this? And I swear on everything that is holy, this guy looked at me, turns around to the Hispanics, and he goes to this big house. Where on El Houso go Bisho? And I'm sitting there just like, no, you didn't. Like, oh my God. And finally, after like 20 more minutes, we figured out, okay, you're getting the Hispanic channel.
You have Ambrose there, don't squish him.
Yeah. So all of your Hispanic channels are coming off this satellite, so I need to be able to see this part of the sky, so the dish is going to have to go right the fuck there. Is that okay? He goes, sure, I don't care. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, I need to start with that.
And so I went outside and did my thing for probably took half an hour. I mean, you're driving 4 bolts into a roof with this dish you've already assembled. You're taking some cable, you're running it down the house, staple, tie in, stick the cables in the house. Now it's time to go inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got an outside portion and an inside portion. This whole 30 minutes that I was doing my outside portion, I mean, I was fucking good at it. I was quick. Half an hour, boom, done. I'm going to be home to see the kids. I go to the front door, knock, 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 knock. Okay, now I need to come inside. All the Mexicans, like probably 10 or 12 of them, and all of them young men, probably 15 to 23, maybe. Like these were young kids, right?
Yeah.
All of them obviously Mexican or of Latin descent, right? Like and Mike, right? I said I need to come inside and I need to put this receiver in this room, and can you show me where these go? Like, where are all the televisions, right? Like, because I hadn't been into the house before. But these receivers need to live where the televisions are. So can you show me where all the televisions are? And Mike turns around to the crowd and he goes, like, because he has no idea this has even been ordered, right? Like, this is completely out of the blue for him, as much as it is for me. He had no idea.
So neither of you speak Spanish. None of them speak English.
I don't speak Spanish.
Oh,
None of them
Lord.
speak English. We got to walk into this house. And this is a big, old Tennessee plantation house. This thing is 60 feet wide. It's 60 feet deep. And it is 4 fucking stories tall.
Holy shit.
This is a big motherfucking house. It's got big pillars out front. You walk in the front door, there's this great big sweeping staircase that goes up to the second floor. So I walk in the door, have this conversation with him, show me where things are. And the very first thing that I noticed was the Nikes. So you walk in the door, you've got this gorgeous, ancient architectural landscape in front of you. And there are, I shit you not, 400 pairs of Nikes lining the interior. High tops, low tops, all of them Nike, every color under the sun that you can imagine.
Whoa.
But they're separated into like little groups.
Oh, so they're definitely, this is...
Yes, these are mine.
These are
mine.
Yeah.
These are, but they were all Nikes, and I went, oh, really kind of weird.
A lot of shoes.
Made my way through this whole house. Finally, managed to find one Hispanic guy that spoke un poquito inglés, like very, very little English, but enough that I was able to talk to him. There was some communication there.
Finally got some dialogue started.
And there's like
Miles?
this is a big install because it was a big house.
Yeah.
Right? Usually I would go and install 2 or 3 televisions. This one was like 9. Like there was a lot of
They're
televisions.
making use of that space.
I got to television number 8. And I went, okay, where's the 9th one go? And Mike turns to me and he goes, that's Mom's. Ma's, I think he said. That's Ma's TV. Okay. Where's Ma? They take me down 3 flights of fucking stairs to the very back room of the fucking house in this itty bitty little corner. And there's like this sliding glass partition door. And Mike cracks it just a little bit, like about this much. And he goes, hey, Ma! And I'm like, what the fuck? And so from the other side of here, yeah, what do you want, Mike? They're here for your TV. Ah, bring him in. And like this super shrill, super high voice that is just like sets my bones on edge because I haven't seen this person.
Yeah.
This whole situation is fucking creepy as hell. What the fuck is in that room, right? Like,
You're gonna be a full-blown witch.
I think I need to leave right now. What's in my brain, right? And she says, okay, come on in. He opens the door, and out of the bottom of this door comes this little fucking fluff ball of fury that's just like... And I was like, holy shit! Mike reaches down, picks him up, and he goes, no, don't worry. And this thing's still going. And I was like, holy fuck! He finally calms this thing down, which turns out to be a dog that is about this tall, about this long, has a head about this big. I shit you fucking not. Has one ear that points like this, and both eyes are like this, and they're covered in cataracts, and his tongue hangs out the side of his mouth, like way the fuck down to here. And this little ball of fury is trying to eat my ankles, and the guy scoops it up and he goes, no, don't worry, he's good, you're okay. Come on inside. So I go through this fucking door. I'm like, I just need to get out of here. I got one more receiver to set. Right?
Yes.
I've been here now like 7 goddamn hours. It's now like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I still have 2 appointments I have to get to that day, which means if I'm lucky, they each take 2 hours, and I might be home by 3 a.m. in order to get back up at 4 a.m. and go drive and do work. So I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I was ready to run with Grandma, but I was like, I'm one fucking receiver away. Everything else is done. All I have to do is plug this motherfucker in, call the station, have them activated, and I am gone. Like, see ya! Goodbye. I walk through this door, and Grandma is sitting in this, all I can call it is a throne. But it's built out of fucking newspapers and 3 couches. Like, that have disintegrated around her. I shit you not. It's like there was one couch there, and then it went bad, so they padded it with newspapers, and then they brought her another couch and set it on top of the goddamn thing. And this has happened 3 times, and she is currently sitting on newspapers. I don't know how long this lady sat in that room, but it was a very, very long time. So I walk through the door, and this is what I see. And this little fucking monster, he put it down, and it's trying to eat my ankles again, but it doesn't know where I am. It can't see. It can't hear. This fucking thing takes off, barking like it's gonna fucking kill me, and runs that direction and runs smack dab into the wall. Oh! And the dog rolls around on the floor, stroking out. And so this is within 5 seconds of me coming into this room. I notice Grandma, the dog happens, Mike's right behind me, as well as 40 fucking Hispanics have now gathered to watch the spectacle, because none of the Hispanics have ever been able to meet Grandma. Like, they have no fucking idea who lives in this room. They've never been in there. Grandma doesn't know these 40 Hispanics exist either. She has no idea, because she's been in this room. Mike's been taking care of her the whole time. He has this whole house, was drawing on her Social Security.
Oh, God.
As well as her disability, as well as his deceased father's veteran disabilities. He was raking in the cash. Mike decided one day, I learned this through later conversation, that he was going to hire a home care nurse for Mom so he could go on vacation. Mike buys a first-class ticket to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, as a single guy, and he's going to go get him some, okay? He goes down there, meets the woman of his dreams. Absolutely the sexiest little Latino chick he ever imagined in his wildest dreams. Falls madly in love. Will you marry me? Within 2 days, Mike, please marry me. She's like, yes, sir. I love you too. They get married. He brings her back to the States on a visa. They get married. She's now a legal U.S. citizen. Move in with his mother, who's had this great big house, right? 4 days later, all of her relatives show up. All. Like, she's like, yo, I got the place. You're like, you are not gonna believe we're on stage. Just tag up everybody.
There's plenty of room for all of us.
Exactly. And that's exactly what.
Hey, man, that's what I'd do.
That's what I'd do too.
If that was my life circumstance, sign me up.
Dude.
It's
I do that right
the ride of your
now.
life.
I was going to say, that is my... yes.
So, I finally come to the realization that that's what I've walked into. Like, after a very long conversation. And then the guy goes, hey, can I have another television? No! I was like, no! He goes, well, I've kind of got this place that's mine. Like, it's where I kind of go to escape. And I kind of like the television out there. And it's my job to say yes. Like,
oh man, it's been my job to say yes a lot.
Right.
And I have said no.
But
a lot.
it would have resulted in a loss of my job immediately if I'd said no. Like, there was no, if he'd called and said, hey, I told this guy I wanted the television, and he said no, sorry, you're not, like, sorry. That's not.
There weren't a lot of options in the hills of Tennessee where we were staying at the time either.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like there was a swimming lot of job opportunities, and we were barely making it as it was, right? So I had to say yes. I said, okay, show me where you want it. You know, hopefully it's a really short run. He's got like this little room off Mom's little throne, fucking whatever thing's going on here. I said, oh, it's downstairs. Okay, show me downstairs. Now I got to do the basement. Right, fine. Takes me outside the back door, around the side of the house, to this little cellar thing that goes down under the house. And it's very unfinished. Like, this was not part of the original house. Okay? This is like rough-hewn rock on both sides.
Okay.
And stairs, like, carved out of the shale. Like, nobody built this. This is dug. Somebody fucking dug.
With a shovel?
And I was like, there's lights on in there, and there's a window. There's like actually a door at the base, and it's like, this is kind of weird. But, all right.
I know people know I'm here, right?
There are people who,
Yeah, people will come looking for me.
And so I was like, all right, just fucking show me. Took me through this door, and there's this huge chamber under this house, which is hewn out of rough stone, with probably 12-foot squares. And every 12 feet, there's this big pillar of remaining stone that is what's supporting the house.
Oh, dear God.
It was gorgeous, to be perfectly honest. Like, I walked into there, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because you could see all the way down this aisle, you could see all the way down this aisle, you could tell that there were pillars, and they were all equally spaced, and you look up at the ceiling and go, oh, well, that's supporting the house. You know, it's just like, it was fantastic. But then my brain went, who did this? And I looked at Mike and I went, who did this? He goes, oh, yeah, that was Grandpa. I said, what? Yeah, Grandpa and Grandma, you know, they had a couple kids and, you know, a couple more kids. And then Grandpa, he just couldn't take it anymore. Fucking Grandma get all up in his shit and he just fucking couldn't fucking take it. And one day, he took a shovel and he went outside of the fucking house and he started digging. And you know what? He died when he was like 104. In this basement, it was finished. My grandpa built a basement. Like, and I'm looking around this place and I'm just going, what the fuck? And right that moment, my phone rings. And it's my office. And they're going, we activated your 8th receiver, which is in fucking Grandma's room. Oh. By now it's like 8 o'clock at goddamn night, you know? Fine. We go up to Grandma's room. All I have to do is push 2 buttons on the remote. Like, that's it. As the installer, all I have to do is acknowledge. Yes, done. Right? Mm-hmm. 45 minutes later, I walk out of that goddamn room. 45 minutes. Because I got all of the stories. And all of the Mexicans were suddenly allowed in this room. And I was sitting in the middle of this floor of a room half the size of this one with about 50 people.
It's like a shitty house party.
And this little fucking dog chewing on my ankles out of the middle of nowhere, still running into the walls, and Grandma, who's got a glass with rocks in it of ice, getting constantly refilled by Mike, and she's saying, "It's your vodka," and he's going, "It's just ginger ale." Finally get this receiver activated. Finally get to the 9th receiver in the basement, which was, thankfully enough, not an issue.
Yeah.
And I was out of there 12 hours later.
Oh.
Dear God. But
12
you would
hours.
think that putting in 9 receivers would count as at least a few jobs.
One would think. It technically resulted in an upcharge that resulted in more money in our pocket because that 9th receiver also paid us like $40 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have chosen not to do it.
I would have preferred to
Yes,
go
but
home, but
would you have that amazing basement story?
oh,
It's not just the basement. It's
Yeah, I know.
all of
It's
it.
the fact that all of those stories happen at the same house that
I
is
ended
just
up not
crazy.
doing any more jobs that day and going home after that one. And I got in big shit for it because somebody else went and covered them. And like people that I'd made friends with were like, "Dude, that was shitty of you." I'm like, "You don't understand."
Yeah.
Like, you do not understand what happened in the preceding 12 hours.
it's like, trust me, dude.
If that had happened to you, dude, I got you. Like,
Good Lord.
Holy shit, that was funny.
We need to have like high chats more
such a
often.
roller coaster day.
Was that the same place we were staying that had that one house that was just too gross for you?
Oh no! Yes. Yeah. No.
Oh, I heard this story.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, I
one.
don't
Thanks,
know.
Jaden.
I don't want that story.
No, nobody wants that story. That needs to just be forgotten.
Lost
No.
the treasure troves of history.
The treasure trove. Oh, never mind. I don't know
Dude,
how to
that
shut
was
this off.
fucking funny. That little dog.
It never stopped either. As soon as it quit twitching, it would stand up and go charging at something and run into another wall. And Grandma, shaking her glass of gin, which was actually ginger ale, would go, "Oh, look at him go! He's so agile for his age! Look at how spry he is! Sitting on this throne of newspapers and couches and...
You do
Thin, frail,
a
little
frighteningly
sunken cheeks,
good.
eyeballs sunk way in her head and going,
Look at him go!
Dog's just running off pure CTE. Running into the wall.
oh.
Alrighty, well, that is your always high chat for Friday, whatever the date is. Hi, have a good night. As soon as I figure out how to shut this off.
Oh no, did you record all of that?
Yes, but I did a live so that I wouldn't have a time limit because you talk for a long time. Did you say boobies?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's Kira's boobies on my live.
You're welcome.
Now a whole bunch of people are going to join.